I will never forget the first time that I decided that, maybe it's time that I daily write. Maybe it's time to shake hands with the inner person and figure out who are you and why are you driving me completely insane? It was a letter to my sister Margaret in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, to which she's never received because all of these books are because of that letter that I was writing to her. And in the early part of writing, I didn't get to do it every day because I didn't understand the commitment and the discipline required to be open and honest, or as they call it today, transparent on a sheet of paper. But today when people ask me, how is it that you can write every day? How is it that you can keep 7 or 8 different journals every day, and yet you don't stop writing? Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Choice. This is what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day. Here's probably the reason why I can do that. It's a blessing. I understand that it's not me working for me, but rather a higher calling from somebody that's saying, hey, knucklehead, can you just put some words down and maybe come back a different day and we can talk about it? For instance, this is what was written. Here in the moment, clearing the mind, opening the soul, freeing the spirit, believing, trusting, having the faith and courage to put forth the light, to grow, to create fruit, to cultivate the soils so that there can be more within the elements of peace and happiness. Just a bunch of poetry, right? But see, that's not how it flowed out of the writer on this particular day, which was April 29th, 2016. And today's date happens to be March 20th, 2018. So almost 2 full years have gone by. But I want you to think about it in the ways of mindfulness or meditation. Here in the moment, clearing the mind, opening the soul, freeing the spirit, believing, trusting, having the faith and courage to put forth the light, to grow, to create fruit, to cultivate the soil so that there can be more within the elements of peace and happiness. Learning to communicate in not only the language, but the inflection that the inner mind, body, and soul accepts. There's so much going on outside the world that we chase that it just endlessly beats the outer shell of this system of choice that we create. But when you softly tell yourself, we are here in the moment, clear the mind, open the soul, free the spirit, you're allowing that inner being to have a place of not only rest, but growth. That opportunity to see an open space where it can reach out a little bit further than what it did yesterday. But we don't want to do that. It's too mellow. It's too melancholy. We don't want people to think that we are just boring people. When in fact, when you meditate and you put yourself in a position of living in the now, everything that you are on the inside, where the seeds have been planted, that soil is very much alive. And all of a sudden, everything that you are and become are the leaves that come from that soil, that bear those flowers that will become fruit, that become the moment that when you need creativity at a moment's notice, it's there. Because you were able to create such a connection to the inner mind, body, and soul, that the relationship between you and that side of you is an open field of creative energy. I know, it's crazy talk, isn't it? And yet, if you learn to practice it every day and be alive in the moment that you have been given and get your eyes off from the past that has already been lived and a future, I don't know, man, there's too many things going on that you really can't predict it. You can try to shape it all you want, but it's like putting paint on a canvas. It's not always going to look like a bird or a human eye. It's going to come out the way that the brush put it there. And then you're going to spend the rest of your life being a perfectionist. In fact, I asked somebody yesterday, this was one of the craziest conversations. His name is Andrew Santella, and Andrew has written a book about procrastination. He's very pro-procrastination. And while talking with him about procrastination, he mentioned something about how difficult it is for him to put words down on paper. And instantly, being the writer that I am, I'm going, oh my God, he's a perfectionist. A perfectionist. The person that doesn't like anything that they do. They'll spend hours doing it over and over and over again. So I had to ask Andrew if he was a procrastinating perfectionist. And the answer is yes. They go hand in hand. So I ask you, are you in the same boat as Andrew Santella, a procrastinating perfectionist? You can't get things done. You can't move forward because you can't come to life in a way that others are racing by. But let me tell you something. Andrew's book soon is very positive about procrastination. And maybe it's a book that you need to kind of put into your chapters so that you can better understand that inner mind, body, and soul. When that seed on the inside is taken care of, it's amazing what will grow on the outside. I'm Arrow, and that's what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day.